Anthony Albanese made a fake promise yesterday ahead of tomorrow's budget that helps to explain why this country is in such strife, getting poorer and deeper in debt.
Our budget is about helping family budgets. Labor will take another $150 right off your power bills. 2 payments of $75 each for every household.
Now that is bull. It's true the Albanese government is going to give a handout. Here you go, $150 to every household. But that's a handout that you have to pay for from your taxes. Your power bills, meanwhile, keep going up, and that's the problem. Labor promised at the last election to cut your electricity bills by $275. Instead, they've gone up by hundreds of dollars and will keep going up. And this latest subsidy will last only this election year, and then you'll have to pay the full whack on your power bills after that. This is a promise just meant to get the government over the election.
On energy bills, why have you extended assistance for 6 months instead of a full 12 months like the last financial?
We wanted to make sure that this energy bill relief was extended through this calendar year to the end of 2025.
And what makes this con worse is that it's a handout to hide the utter failure of the government's global warming schemes. Its big plan to save the world from global warming by closing our coal-fired power generators and replacing them with expensive and unreliable wind and solar. Now, Labor claimed those plans would cut your bills. They didn't. And no wonder the government's plan, for instance, for green hydrogen, have collapsed. Its planned offshore wind farms are almost all stalled. The solar farms, the rollout of them and the wind farms, all that's way behind. So these Labor handouts paid by you are just Labor's compensation for Labor's incompetence. You'll pay higher power bills, and now you're going to have to pay for the handouts you're getting as compensation as well. This is no way to run a country. But it keeps happening. You take massive immigration right now, more than 1 million extra immigrants under this government. It's come with a cost, huge cost. It's caused house prices and rents to go through the roof. I mean, the link is so obvious. More immigrants, higher rents, they track each other. Bit by bit, there you go. Simply because we're not building enough houses. And the government's fixed now? Even more handouts, again paid by you. More Commonwealth rent assistance. And more money for a lucky 2,500 Australians a year to buy their first home. Why not just slash immigration? Fix the problem. Don't spend our money on band-aids. In fact, the whole government strategy has been exactly like that. It's choked our economy with pro-union rules, heritage bans, green restrictions on gas and oil and coal. Look, the result is our growth has gone down the toilet, except for that bounce back just after the lockdowns. Inflation's been too high, and now we're getting even more and more handouts to hide the decline. More Medicare spending, more childcare handouts, even more money for the National Insurance Disability Scheme, which Labor laughingly claims to have reformed. I mean, just on the NDIS. $44 billion a year we're now spending on a scheme that was meant to help only Australians with significant and permanent disability. So can someone please explain how we nevertheless ended up with 700,000 Australians all claiming to have significant and permanent disability? That's 1 in 35 Australians all claiming NDIS benefits. I mean, we're being had. And who pays for this all? These band-aids, the dud green schemes, the rorters, the 36,000 extra public servants that Anthony Albanese has hired? You do. And this is why tomorrow's budget, just fresh from the printers, is going to admit that the money is now gone. Those windfalls this government enjoyed from booming prices for our coal and our gas and our iron ore, it's gone. And instead, Labor is now going to plunge us into a decade of deficits, which is what the Treasurer conceded yesterday.
When do you anticipate an Australian government could next deliver a surplus?
Well, it remains to be seen. Our efforts have been about trying to make the budget as responsible as we can, some savings.
So, however Labor spins tomorrow's budget, and there'll be lots of spins. Oh, look at the handouts. You know, we're great. The handouts. Bottom line is this. Your living standards, down. Growth, down. Debt, up. And I really don't know what more needs to be said.